Hey guys, just Patrick here from Complete Health, and I just wanted to jump on and talk about 3 things that you're almost definitely doing on a day-to-day basis that will most likely be changing your posture and probably causing a lot of those problems with your headaches, your neck pain, your back pain, your shoulders, etc, etc, etc. So there are 3 major causes or 3 things that I'll probably see almost every single patient do on a daily basis, that is involved with their problem in some way, shape or form. So when we look at posture is essentially the structure in which we're holding our body, and generally there are some structures that we want to see that are relatively normal. So when we look at someone, what we ideally want to see is from the front that they're standing completely straight, and we ideally want to see someone distributing their weight relatively symmetrically. And then when we look at someone from the side, we should really see the ear, the shoulder, the hips, the knees, and the ankles should all really sit on the same line as well. And we call these the plumb lines. And essentially that allows gravity to distribute our weight evenly across our joints. Now, when we come away from that, what starts to happen is the joint lines start to get loaded in aberrant ways. And this can start to cause degeneration, pain in the muscles, the joints, the nerves, etc. So here are 3 things that you might be doing on a day-to-day basis, or most of us will be doing at least 2 out of 3 of these. I know I do at least 2 out of 3 of these on a day-to-day basis that may well be changing your posture. So number 1, sitting. Seems simple, but sitting is probably one of the biggest things that I see changing people's posture, especially when we look at their lower back. So when we sit, what happens is our hip flexors become short, and as a result, what we start to see is the pelvis starts to tilt in a weird way. So the longer we sit for, the more our discs and our muscles around our lower back start to change shape. And as they change shape, they adapt and they hold it. Now, you'll probably know the things that you do the most become the easiest. E.g., if you go and lift loads of heavy weights, your muscles will develop. If you go and run a lot, your muscles will develop in a very different way. Now, if we sit a lot, our muscles develop in a very different way. And it doesn't matter what we're doing, our body is designed to adapt into those environments. So if you're constantly sitting, guess what? Yes, your body is very good at adapting to that as well. So this is number 1. And this one's very key for those people that are getting lots of lower back pain, because sitting for as little as 4 to 5 hours a day, doesn't have to all be in one go. As little as 4 to 5 hours a day, which the majority of us will do if we have a desk-based job, can increase the pressure in the spine by up to 50%. Number 2, use of laptops. Laptops are a great piece of tech. They're a great piece of software. They're brilliant for work on the go, but that's exactly what they're designed for, work on the go. Now, a lot of us are working from home. We've been given laptops to work as a station from home. Now, the reality of it is that laptops were not designed for being used for 8 hours plus a day. And the main reason being is that when you use a laptop, the screen is far too low. So what ends up happening is people end up looking down all the time to work on their laptop. And as you can probably see, my head is completely hinged forward. Now, for every 15 degrees that the head actually leans forward, your head actually doubles in weight. So what ends up happening in this situation, we start to create degeneration in the lower part of our neck, and we start to strain the muscles around the tops of our back and our shoulders. Hence, we get those really knotty shoulders if you work on a laptop all day. And when we start to see people, when they get to a point, they get too bad and their degeneration starts to get serious, we actually start to see pins and needles and shooting pains into the arms as well. Now, the last one almost kind of ties in with the idea of laptops as well, and that's mobile phones. Now, there's actually a condition nowadays called text neck. Text neck is essentially someone's neck has physically changed shape. So what we know is there should be a nice C shape in someone's neck, and that shape changes over time the longer we spend on our mobile phone. So you know those people that you've seen that have got a kind of lump in the top of their back, or they look like Quasimodo from where they've actually hunched over for so long. And you may find that those kinds of people, they've been working on laptops all day, and then they go home and they spend a load of time on their mobile phone. And then when they're not on their mobile phone, they're sat on the sofa and watching TV. And the reality of it is that that person has hit all three of those posture changes on the head. And I can guarantee you, if that person is doing that all day, every day, and they're not doing any exercise or any stretching in order to counteract those problems, you can almost guarantee their posture is starting to change. And as their posture starts to change, pain and degeneration will start to occur as time goes on. And by the way, it may not happen straight away, but I can assure you, if you do these things for long enough, at some point, the body will have to change. And degeneration takes place because the joint physically can only take so much. It's the same, by the way, as our body. If we went to the gym and we put the treadmill up to full whack, there's going to be a point where your body can no longer keep up with the treadmill and you give up. And some people will be very good at holding that for a long period of time, and some people won't be able to do as much, which is why everybody degenerates at a different speed. Hopefully you found something helpful in here. So like I say, three major tips of things that you may be doing that may be causing changes in your posture. Sitting too much, using a laptop for too long per day. If you're using a laptop, what I would suggest you do is put a keyboard and a mouse in and actually raise the screen up so that you're not constantly looking down all the time. Mobile phones. If you're using mobile phones, great, that's fine. Just again, make sure that they're nice and upright so that you're actually not causing too much damage in your neck. By the way, all of these things are fine so long as you find a way to adapt it so you don't use bad posture every single time you use these things. So that's sitting, laptops, mobile phones, three biggest things that I see changing people's postures nowadays. Hopefully you found something helpful. If you've got any questions, like I say, leave them in the comments below. If you want advice on how to actually change these things back, maybe you've noticed some changes in your posture, we've got loads of content on our website, which is Complete Health Eastbourne on YouTube, and then it's got loads of information on how you can actually start to adapt your posture back to normal. Guys, until tomorrow, I will speak to you again soon.